Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's EJ Marino and this is About Last Night, the show where I talk about the movie I saw last night. We're jumping right into this week's episode because I'm so excited about it. We're talking about a new slasher film, Happy Death Day to You. First things first, you may see I'm wearing a Chucky shirt. This is not in support of that Child's Play reboot. Not supporting that. Watch the original franchise. I'm just wearing this because it's a slasher movie, and we're talking about a new slasher film. Yes, second thing second, we're diving into Happy Death Day to You. I am so excited to talk about this because I have not seen... Okay, we have Halloween last year, but that's such a tired franchise. That's a franchise that we're so used to by now. It's been around since the 70s. Happy Death Day and the new film Happy Death Day to You are so fresh, it's so new, it's so unique that I'm having such a good time, and I already want a third film. Yes, the second one just came out, and I'm already wanting a new one. Yes, this is how great this universe is. This is how well the filmmaker Christopher Landon has established this universe from the first film, but especially in this second movie, because Happy Death Day to You is fantastic. Is it a flawless masterpiece? No, we all know that. We all know not every movie is perfect, but what this one does is take all the imperfections that would be in a slasher movie, a teen horror film, and honestly just erases them. There's so many tropes that they avoided. There's so much cliched, tired things that they could have done, but they didn't. There's a lot of things in a sequel that they could have done. Yes, this movie's a little bit bigger than the first one. You could tell they spent a little bit more money, but other than that, they avoided so many sequel tropes. Basically redoing the first film and just kind of being that's it, call it a day. No, this one takes the idea of redoing the first movie, especially in a movie where you redo the same day. They take the idea of redoing the first movie and say, we're gonna add our extra new spin on it. And the new spin was perfect. Everything about this that I was just when it started, I was a little nervous, and I was like, okay, I don't know exactly where we're going. Then instantly we jump back into the loop that we are familiar with, and I'm at home, and I'm loving it. I have so many nice positive things to say that I should dive into some negatives just to be fair. With diving into the negatives first, that's not saying this movie is bad or that these negatives outweigh the positives, but there's going to be a lot more nice things to say at the end that let me get rid of some of my minor complaints. First thing with the complaints, this is a little less scary, a little less horror than the first film or even other slasher movies. I find this to be a little bit more of a comedy horror film than a horror comedy. I know that's a weird way of explaining it, but let me give you an example. Scream is a horror comedy. It puts the scares, it puts the genre of horror first. Where it's still funny, it's still interesting, it's still witty satire. Where you have a film like, let's say, Evil Dead 2. I love Evil Dead 2, but it wants to be a slapstick comedy way more than it wants to be a horror film, which is the opposite of the first film, which was a more dark, gritty, experimental film. So yeah, that's what I'm saying with this one. This one reminds me more of an Evil Dead 2, or a film from the director, Christopher Landon. He did a Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which is about Boy Scouts and the zombie apocalypse. It was hilarious. Still had some gore, still had some scares, but it wanted to be funny and fun first. That's what Happy Death Day to You is for me. It's more of a comedy horror with having a lot of fun, a lot of slapstick moments, but centering it in a horror universe. Yes, there's a long segment of some very not explicit kills, but some very detailed and interesting kills that are just handled so hilariously. I am surprised that people in my theater laughed, because I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but it gets a little dark, and I'm like, oh wow, this is going to be crazy, and it's hilarious. That's what I will say. As much as I do complain that there isn't enough scares, I don't really care at the end, because the comedy was there, wasn't cheap, wasn't lazy, it was good, it was fulfilling, and I liked that. Now, my second complaint, there was a moment in the beginning that I just felt like I was watching the same movie all over again. in kind of a good or bad way. I just felt like this was a massive continuation from the first film than its own separate entity. Like, you truly cannot just stumble in to Happy Death Day to You and fully grasp it. You need to see that first film, which, once again, it is a sequel. It's meant to go together, but I would like this to have worked a little bit better as a standalone, something I could have just thrown on without having to feel like I need to watch that first one before I watch this one. But there we go. That's the end of my complaints. That is it, negative-wise, because let's jump in to all of my positives. The first positive I have is Jessica Rothe as Tree. I love this woman. Like, I love Jessica as an actress. I love Tree as a character. The biggest compliment I can give is I want to hang out with Tree, Carter, Ryan, this whole crew, even Danielle, that bitchy sorority girl. I want to hang out with them consistently. Like, I wish this was my group of friends, and that is such a compliment for these kind of films. To have an ensemble cast of young people that you want them to be likable, you want all that, that's what they felt like to me. I liked hanging out with them, especially Tree. Watching her grow from the first film was amazing. That kind of like bitchy girl to something a little bit more well-rounded, a little bit more soul. Didn't lose her edge, but, you know, softened up a little bit. This one dives into it even more. She's still fun, she's still witty, she's still sharp, she'll still tell you like it is. But what I love is that she has more soul in this one than she has in the first one. There's something that causes her to see more of that heart, to see more of that soul in this film, and I love that. And there's such a good, warm moment near the end of the film that I genuinely loved. Oh my god, it was so sweet. But it was so cool to see that I actually was like, she's still a badass. She's still like, you know, grabs like the baseball bat from Carter's like, I know what I'm doing. Like, she is so independent, but isn't scared to ask for help when she needs it, isn't scared to have this team of people around her, but she is a fun character to watch. She's not that Mary Sue kind of character that we're so scared of in these films. They're like, she's so good at everything. How is she so good? Tree is just good at everything, but we've seen her learn, we've seen her grow, and I love that. So we have that amazing character, and she's surrounded by an amazing universe. I love the Happy Death Day to You universe, this weird timelines and the loop and there is so much to dive into, but in the most basic form, this feels like a well thought out universe, not overly planned, overly prepped, where you can see someone like grinding in the script for days, like, I have to get the time travel perfect. No, they're just having a good time making this, and that allows me to have a good time watching it. This is so far from like an Inception, or even like a movie like, or a TV show like Flash that deals with time travel and deals with things like that. There is like less seriousness to this time travel, less seriousness to the loops, and that makes it an easy, casual viewing that I find to be refreshing and very relaxing. I like to turn on a slasher movie like a Friday the 13th or a Scream. I love those movies, but I like to turn them on for entertainment, to sit there, laugh, have a good time, and just enjoy myself. I don't want to think too hard. I like my Hereditaries. I like my 2001 Space Odyssey, where I'm sitting there like, what the hell? But no, I need a movie like Happy Death Day to You. I need a movie like this that is just goddamn good, easy fun. That's the easiest way I will say this. This movie is easy to love and easy to have fun with. So that is it for my madman ramblings of Happy Death Day to You. This movie just gave me such a natural high. It put me in such a good mood that I cannot wait to talk about this more with you guys. So let's continue this conversation in the comments below. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this movie, what you thought of the first one, what's your favorite slasher movie. Let's keep this going down in the comments below. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, because that's how I know you liked it, and that's how YouTube knows you liked it as well. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, because I make videos like this every single week. It is so fun talking about movies with you guys, and it's so fun talking about a slasher movie that I genuinely loved and had a good time. I highly recommend you go see Happy Death Day to You, and I highly recommend you check out more videos on my channel right now.